Afternoon, boys. I wish that we could be there on the field today, but we can't. So I wanted to put together a quick video on the 9v9 transition. So we'll be moving from the field that we're on now to a 9 versus 9. What we are used to is having 2 defenders, 1 defensive midfielder, 2 wingers, and a forward. All we're doing now is adding these 2. And we're stretching it out a little bit more. So our formation will be one goalkeeper, 2 defenders, 3 defensive midfielders, 1 attacking midfielder to link up to the 2 forwards. Okay, so patterns of play stay the same. We pop off, we pop off, we pop off. We still have that, okay, where we can get the ball into here. We can break this line here if we can. We can go wide if needed. We can go into the central midfielder, who can then look to connect to the other midfielder and move down the field. Okay, so it is a very, very simple transition, which is why we've been playing the formation that we've been playing, so that we can transition into this. Now, what we've got to remember is this is going to be a completely different game than the one that we're playing at the moment, because it's a bigger field, there's a lot more space, and we need to let the ball do the work more often. When we have a smaller field, it's very, very easy to get it to a midfielder or a forward and they just run with it and they go on their own. This type of football is great because, you know, you do need the counter-attacks, but we need to make sure that we're looking after a ball. We need to identify when's the time to turn and go and burn and go with it, and when's the time to hold the ball up and bring other players into it. For example, if we can get it in to our fullback here, he pulls out wide there, he's dropping off, he comes in here, and then this ball comes out there, we've got a nice little diamond in our play. We've got one here. There's your diamond, so there's your opportunities. Now, we worked on this the other day, coming back there. So we've got a triangle there. We have a diamond there, okay? We play it into this guy. We've got a diamond there, if he moves up, okay? So we've got triangles and diamonds all over this field. So we've got to make sure that we utilize that. So, if we get the ball in here, then it goes up there. He can come over here to go down the line. So we're providing width. We've got a midfielder who can come over here. The other forward can go high, so the ball can go in there. Then he can come underneath him, play there. He can be moving up. We all have to move up together as a unit. So now, at the 2 midfielders, we have our fullback or our wide person who's coming in, who can come for the ball backwards. We've got a midfielder coming in to join the forward over there, and we've got a midfielder that steps in and makes sure that if he can't do that, we can have the ball back there. And then we can look to switch it out to the other side. So we've got a variety of different opportunities as we get that ball, as long as we're all moving together as a unit. Okay, so let's put these guys. So our press in this, if it looks like the player is going to go short, okay, if it's on the left hand side, the left centre forward will press, and if it's on the right hand side, the right centre forward will press. Now what we want to try and do here is funnel them into the middle. So instead of bending the run and forcing them out wide, we're going to bend the run around this way and force him back in. Now, this gives the opportunity for our attacking midfielder to come up to here, this person to come there, and then the other midfielder to come here. So we are funneling that play into there. He can squeeze in, and we are looking to win the ball in and around this area if they're trying to get rid of it. Okay, at the back, we need to make sure the back door is locked, so one picks up, one can drop off just a little bit. But remember, the halfway line is now going to be your build-out line, the offside line. so to speak. So we don't want these two dropping too far deep, because then that gives them an out. If they go into this space, he can get it. We need to make sure that we're squeezing up and the goalkeeper comes up onto the edge of the box. It's important that he stays connected, so if a big long ball comes over the top, he can sweep up here and make sure that they don't get the ball. Okay, so it's bend, and force it into the middle and press. Okay, squeeze up. Look at how far in these two guys are. We are squeezing them in if we can. If they start to get it out wide, we drop, we slide, and we are sliding as a whole team if they manage to get the ball out there. So look at that, we are staying as compact as we can around the field, making it so there's less space for them to play into. Link up play on 1-2s. Now, as you can see, we've got the formation back here. Our right central defender has got the ball. The left central defender is going to drop a little bit. Sometimes when it's there, he doesn't necessarily need to, because we have the goalkeeper who can drop. Okay, if he is square and there's a defender around here, that ball should always go back to the goalkeeper. It should never go across there, because if he intercepts it, it's just easy for them to score. So he's got the ball, pops out wide, number 8 slides across, and 8 should always look at this guy. Do we want that so he is in the same line? We don't want them in the same line. Maybe this person comes out over there to create that triangle so that we can either miss him, then it can go back and in, or find him, then we can look to combine. If we get it to the striker and they turn and go, it's important that we support. Now we've got to think, number 1, can I get into the box? And number 2, what happens if you can't get there, or the defender stops him and he has to turn behind? If everybody goes, as he's flying forward, then there's a huge gap in the middle. These guys should be coming up, but they can't necessarily fill that. Still a gap in the middle. So if they've got one guy there and that ball gets knocked in, their central player can then escape with the ball and maybe start a counter-attack against us. So what we need to do is make sure that when this guy gets the ball, he's got support behind him from the winger or the wing back. Remember, you can play your overlap if you see it, or the ball can come back to you. Okay, it all depends on the situation. If they've got a defender in here and no one around there, but they've got 2 defenders there, there's obviously no chance of an overlap there. Okay, if he's not there and he's here, you can overlap and see if you can get in. If he overlaps, this person has to tuck in a little bit more and solidify it at the back. Okay, the 2 midfielders, whoever's playing deep comes back, diagonal offensive support there. Okay, and whoever is playing a little bit higher can come into the space in the middle. The other centre forwards should be going as high as they can when they can remain on side. If that ball goes in there, he can cross it, it's a goal. If that ball goes in there, he can take that touch, he takes them away, and then that can get pulled back to this guy who can hit that. As that ball goes in here as well, it's important that these guys start to shift across, because if they clear it, it's going to be to the middle. If they're staying in there, it can come out, they can get the ball. So we need to make sure that we've got players situated in positions where that if we do lose it, we can immediately win that ball back and put pressure on them a little bit more.